Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining me. My name is Anne Logan and this is the I'veReadThis.com YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing Pieces of Her by Karin Slaughter. I can see the whole book there. So this is the first Karin Slaughter book I have ever read, which I now realize is embarrassing because she is a massive thriller writer. According to her bio, she's sold over 35 million books, and I checked out her website, which is very nice, and she is, yeah, like a megastar author from the US. She's written a whole ton of books, and she has kind of two famous characters in her series, which is Will Trent and Sarah Linton, I think. This is a standalone book that I'm reviewing today, but it seems as though she has a few series that people are big fans of and followers of. And she even has a store on her website where you can purchase like Karin Slaughter t-shirts. So I feel like once you've gotten to that level as a writer, there's not a lot of other places that you can go. You're kind of like at the Stephen King level at that point. So yeah, this is the first Karin Slaughter book that I've read. I loved it. It is about a woman named Andrea. She's in her early 30s. She still lives with her mom, and the book opens with her eating breakfast at a diner with her mom, and her mom sort of giving her a lecture about how she's gotta like get her life together and, you know, get her own place, that sort of thing. And then a gunman comes into the diner and shoots people and kills them. And her mother sort of stands up to try to talk this man down. And this guy pulls out a knife and basically like stabs Andrea's mother's hand. Her mother's name is Laura, by the way. And as she's, so like her hand gets stabbed, but then she like somehow through this crazy maneuver ends up like killing this man with this knife in her hand. So she does this, she kind of whips out this crazy ninja move. And so the police are obviously very interested in where her mother learned this crazy move. Some other unsettling things happen, and basically Andrea ends up fleeing her mother's house and city and kind of going on the run. And her mother instructs her to go to this like warehouse where she finds an old car in pristine condition with like a trunk full of cash. And so it becomes clear that her mother Laura has some secrets, you know, a secret life that Andrea knew nothing about. And the book alternates between Andrea in the present day, like kind of on the run from the authorities, and Laura as a young woman and what happened to her to kind of turn her into the person that she is today. So this isn't one of these books with like cheap twists and thrills. It's a very well plotted novel. A lot of crazy things happen, but it's all still very believable. And there's some social commentary mixed in there. The plotting's pretty consistent. You know, it's one of these page turners, very plot heavy. I found it a tiny bit long, which is something I say about most books these days. It's about 470 pages long. So it kind of, there's a lull for me in the middle. I felt like it could have picked up towards the end and still made perfect sense. But other than it being a little bit too long, that's probably my only criticism of the book. The characters were all really well developed. No one was like, you know, a cliche or archetype, which is also very common in thrillers these days. There is no crazy unreliable narrators, which is a lazy way of writing, I think, these days. Yeah, so all in all, I just really enjoyed this book, Pieces of Her, and it's made me excited to read future Karin Slaughter novels, and by the way, that is her real name. I actually have, so Pieces of Her was published in 2018 by HarperCollins, and they also sent me this Karin Slaughter book, The Last Widow. This was released in 2019, so I'm getting the sense that Slaughter's one of these authors who releases a book a year kind of thing, but she's clearly doing a very good job of it, so no complaints here. I will, when I do review this book, I will link to this current review so you guys can get the full idea of what I'm thinking and how I compare these two novels, because it's going to be hard not to now. I think The Last Widow is part of her detective series, her ongoing series. It's not a standalone, so I get the sense that her reoccurring detectives are what made her so famous. So we'll see if I love this book as much as I loved the one that I'm currently reviewing. So yeah, I think that's it for my review of Karin Slaughter. I'm so happy I've discovered a new thriller writer because I love reading this genre, and she's got a ton of books to get back into if I'm ever searching for something to read, which I kind of doubt I will be. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye!